Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and this is an unboxing of the Pink and Main December 2021 Crafty Courtyard box. This one is called Freezin Season and it is their latest box, at least at the time of this recording. And so I'll go through the papers first. So we've got our ice rink papers. These are the full 8.5 by 11. Ooh, that's really pretty. 2 sheets of glitter card. And then some of our gorgeous basil papers. Oh, this one's so thick. I thought it was too. Beautiful colors. And so that is a hint as to the color palette for this month. And I did want to just show, because I recently just unboxed some of the older kits that I've purchased, and just as a comparison, this is the current size project bag, because I know I go on and on about this, and beneath this is the original project bag that we used to get. So it's a good sort of 1/2 inch wider and taller, which is just enough to fit the 8x8 sheets of paper, which I love being able to do in the past. So really hope that the project bags go back to their original size. But this is our lovely inspiration postcard. Super adorable penguin. That's kind of why I had to get this kit, because the penguins are so cute. And the postcard I always keep, even though when Michelle does her unboxings, she always encourages us to go ahead and use this. Use it as a card front, because it is beautiful and you can have a really quick card. But I like kind of keeping it as a little bit of a keepsake, and plus I get all of my kit contents and the color palette for the kit as well. So there's that. And in terms of embellishments, we get beautiful sequin pack, gorgeous colors there. And then we also have our glitter enamel dots, which I always love. These are just so beautiful. One of my favorites parts of this kit. And then there is our 6x6 paper pad, which I always say this because I do love how Pink and Main curates their patterns and designs for the 6x6 paper pad. We get 24 sheets, and they are each double-sided, and you get 24 unique designs. So for each sheet, there's going to be 2 that are exactly the same. So that means you can use, if you want to make multiple cards and use this print multiple times, you'll have 2 sheets like this. Or if you're in love with both patterns on the front and the back, then you have 2 sheets, so you can use the front and the back. You don't have to choose between the 2. But what I love about the Pink and Main papers is that we always get a selection of these really nice, there's a pattern to it. There's like a very fine sort of ditty polka dot pattern to this, but you could almost use this as a solid because there is so much solid color on here. And so you'll always get a nice set of those in different colorways that match the color palette for the month. And you'll see that a couple of times where there will be a couple of patterns, so this being the next one, that you'll get in multiple colors from within the color palette. And so I always like to organize my papers this way, just so that I can see what colors I have to choose from in each of the designs. And then we get into papers that have a little bit more color. So where these were a little bit more monochromatic, and the other thing is that you also get sort of different scale repeating patterns. So where this was a really fine detail repeating pattern, these are larger patterns that are larger icons that repeat. And then we're moving into our more multicolor patterns. So we get some zigzags, diagonal stripes, horizontal or vertical stripes, and some plaids even. And again, just different scale and different, amounts of color. And this is a really nice splatter kind of pattern. It's almost like an animal print pattern, but in, kind of funky colors. And then you get your really bold prints, which sometimes is bold colors like these, sort of almost watercolor, or paint effect almost. And sometimes it's your more graphical imagery that's been in a repeat pattern. So these are all really, really bold, fun patterns. Almost reminds me a little bit of jelly press printing. And then this kit comes also with 2 6x6 sheets of specialty cardstock. So this is sort of like a satin foil, and then this is a holographic. So gorgeous. So that's a little bit of a bonus. We don't normally get those, so that's awesome. And then this is the most adorable stamp set. So look at all these fun little penguins that are just so cheerful, and I think you can use these really for all occasions, but there are some really fun sentiments that go with it. For example, you're the coolest, a frosty hello, just for you, your friendship warms my heart, there's nobody like you. So that's super, super adorable. And then, as always, we get some awesome coordinating dies. So all of these penguins have a die that will cut it out, and there are even these smaller icon dies to die cut out even your smaller images there. So that's amazing. And I like how there's more metal off to one side of these smaller dies, because that means that you'll have actually more, physical metal to tape down your die with. And I always appreciate that, because even though I almost always use a like a metal or the magnetic shim, so it should hold the dies in place, you just never really know, especially when I'm die cutting multiple things at the same time and I've got multiple dies going through. I always like to just tape it down just to make sure the die doesn't jump and overlap each other or do anything strange. I prefer to always tape it down, so having that extra bit of metal to tape down these smaller dies is really helpful. So there's the stamp set and coordinating dies to go with it. And then this is really gorgeous. This is a snowflake stencil, which looks like it gives you this pattern. So if you want to recreate this pattern, but in whatever color you want for your project, you can do that. Or use your mousses through this and get that raised sort of texture feel. So I think that's really awesome. One thing that I think that they are doing more often now lately is there are these 2 holes on the side here of the stencil, and I remember in an unboxing, I think the reason for that is so that you can actually store these in the Pink and Main binder. But I don't store my stencils that way, and so I kind of prefer how they had it in the past, where that was part of the design, because I feel like now I kind of have to mask that off in order to not accidentally ink through that or push media through that and have it be part of the design. So that's just my personal preference, because I don't store my folders in the Pink and Main. I guess it's a binder that they have to store their stencils. And then we get a 6x6 embossing folder, which is gorgeous. I really like this pattern. I don't think I have it or anything similar to it, so that's really cool. And I say it, I think, almost every time I do an unboxing. I think Pink and Main Crafty Courtyard box kits are really unique in that you do get these large 6x6 stamp, dies, stencil, and embossing folder. And so that's why I always feel like these are fantastic value for money, these kits. And it's really amazing how every kit is better and better. And so I feel like the kit has evolved over time, and I really love the direction that they've taken it by including more stash building elements. And I don't mind having to sacrifice some of the consumable embellishments and whatnot to get these items that will stay in my craft room forever, essentially, and be able to be used time and time again well after all of the consumables are used up. So I don't have a specific project in mind for this yet, but when I do craft with this box, I will be sure to link to it at the end of this one. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye.